Alright, if you guys are up for it, we can see if we can stay connected. This is just a little annoying. It's continues to show disconnected on my end. And yeah, we'll give something. How about 40 minutes? We'll feel a little better. For those of you that have already hopped off, sorry about that. 2 blocks, let's get something going. It's green for now. Nope, it's yellow and now red. There we go. Here's my foot. Here's a wall. We're probably not going to stay connected, but let's give it the old college try. And if it disconnects this time, you guys close your eyes, channel your internal Andrew, and chuckle every few minutes at some new witticism. See if you can get your pelvis closer to the wall. Smooth, deep inhales. Everybody stretching that left foot. Whatever speed you were going today, whatever amount of frustration it's been dealing with this class. Super annoying. Sorry about that. Just make sure we are all on the same page. Let's take one more deep breath. Second side. When disaster happens every day, and you can sort of normalize it, it's not really disaster. And unfortunately, the same thing is true with joy. If you only experience peace and joy and love and beauty every day, would there be such a thing as peace, love, joy, and beauty? It's the absence of things, the experience of its opposite, that actually creates the definition of the thing. You get to experience the border of happiness and non-happiness. So I appreciate these times, and I hope these technical difficulties aren't too frustrating for you guys. We shake it out, roll the ankle for the difference. I'm going to stand on my left foot, right hand to the wall. All I'm going to do, cross your right foot on top of the left, lift your left heel up. Looks like we're staying green. Of course, they would only happen on the hour. Lifting the heel up as high as you can, and then lowering. Let's do 2 more. How high can you lift the heel? And then lower. I'm focusing on the lift rather than on the balance. There we go. Try the other foot, left over right. Head pushes up. Be extra tall, pretty please. Ooh. Awesome. Now 2 feet. This time you're going to balance, hands off the wall. Take your feet all the way together. Woo! So that when you lift, the ankles stay together, heels stay together if you can. 1 more. This time we lift, we stay up. Ankles together. I feel something touching on the inside of the feet. Be it the arch, be it the heel. Okay, now we're going to walk around, but as you walk, as you commit your body weight to 1 foot, the moment your back foot lifts up, you're going to lift the standing heel. And then you stand. And then the moment the back foot's up, you're going to lift the standing heel. Just a little, one of these little hops. The foot stays on the ground, but just a little heel lift. Like a little dainty frolic. It's like a happy little frolic. Okay. Last little thing we'll do on our feet. Now, we'll balance on this left foot. Right crosses over left. Let's play with our front to back movement. But for those of you feeling fancy, stand on one foot, have a wall close if you need it. You can put one finger on the wall. You're allowed one finger. But now we are focusing on balance. First, we shift our weight forward, feel your toes grip. Shift your weight back, feel the heel crush. We cycle between this forward and back movement. Good, you got it. And now close your eyes. Going forward and back with your eyeballs covered with your eyelids. Good. Second side. Right foot's in line with your mat or in line with the wall if you're going to use the wall. Left over right. So the only thing touching the floor is that right foot. We shift forward with our eyeballs open. Here they are. Eyeballs are the same. Our eyelids have opened. We close our eyes. Whee. Back and forth, please. Outstanding. A little bit to warm the legs up and we'll get down on hands and knees. Very simple idea. Let's take your feet all the way together, touching. So the feet are squashed together. I want to keep my weight back on the heels best I can. All I'm going to do is bend the knees. As I sink my hips and fold forward, I'm going to press my knees apart, bend your knees, fold forward. Slide your hands down your shins just a little bit, but keep your head way above your chest. And then we come back up. No problem, right? Bend the knees, push your hips back, slide the hands down. Don't worry about how low the hands go. Just sort of knee height is fine. Hands slide down, chest up. You want to imagine that there's actually a wall right in front of you. Kind of slide, hands down. Okay. Same movement, nothing different. As you slide down, I want all of your weight on your left foot. So my right foot's on the floor. There's just no weight on it. It's touching. Bend. Press that left knee to the left. Let me straighten. Keep the chest up, please. My chest is on the wall. I'm sliding my chest up and down the imaginary wall. Feel the back turn on. Keep the weight way back on the heel. And then I'll make sure the legs are suffering appropriately. Good, good. Feet squish together. 100% of weight on the right foot. As I bend the right knee, press the right knee to the right. There's no weight on the left foot. It's there to help with balance. We lower. And we lift all the weights on the right foot. Your weight really wants to shift to the toesies. See if you can inhibit that. Notice your tendency to reach with your hands and collapse the chest. Keep the shoulders down. Puff that chest up. Last one. Right knee presses to the right. This time we stay down. Center your weight on your feet. Shift your weight back on the heels. Knees press apart. Chest up. Last breath. On hands and knees. Hooray! Ooh. We shift the hips. Wiggle your knees as wide as the mat. So as you shift your hips, you're getting some nice hip sensation. For those of you just joining us, if you click on the YouTube video and it takes you to subscribe to this channel, normally it doesn't matter. We aren't really trying to promote too much on YouTube these days. But if we have 1,000 subscribers, which we are something like 70 away from, we can live stream through our channel, through my phone. Unfortunately, there is no webcam good enough, but my phone does produce a good enough image. The next time we have connectivity issues, I'll just do it through my phone. We'll have the lights on, it'll sound a little different, but we'll get you a good image and a good class. Let's curl the toes under. Hands in front of the knees, stretchify those forearms. I presume most of you are going to try to use your hands today, so let's give your hands a reason to be healthy. A little bit of toe torture, a little bit of wrist torture, chest that up, chest that arch up. Really chest that arch up. Mm-hmm. Point the toes. See if you can sit all the way back. Regardless of how deep you are, whether it's your knee or your hand stopping you, grip your fingertips. You don't have to go any deeper. Drive those fingertips into the floor, please. Crush. Good. Elbows and knees, of course, my favorite exit. And really my favorite relaxation position. On elbows and knees, my hips are high. I set the head down on the hands. Let's slide the hips left and right. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh boy. Looks like we still got our signal. It's still green. I can't believe it. I can believe it, of course. Last two breaths. A little bit of nothing fancy. I'm going to slowly come back on hands and knees. And I'm going to slide my right knee forward on the floor. Don't think about the foot, think about your knee. Right knee slides forward, 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 forward. And then I drop the right hip to the right. So now my right butt cheek's on the floor. Slide this right foot sufficiently forward so that if you look down at your right knee, it's at a 90-degree angle. Chest out. Up, up, up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, just like we do with runner stretch, see if you can now push your right knee down to the floor, which of course you're really doing is you're pulling it down the floor. So instead of pushing with the hand, we contract something in the buns, pull it down, and fight for the deepest bun contraction you can get. My chest is more or less square to the front of the room. I'm not at all worried about this back leg for now. Arch, arch, arch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's swing this back leg around to the front. Now I cross right over left. Right over left. You want to swing the back leg around on top of the front leg. But instead, look at your legs, and it's the leg that was in front that's now on top. In other words, it's the same fold. I'm still bent more or less at a right angle. I slide my left foot flat for runners, seated runner stretch. And now we focus on the same idea. Everybody arch your chest. You want to imagine that my foot of loving kindness is in your lower back. Pull this right knee away from the chest and breathe. Last deep breath. The foot that's on the floor, this guy, the bottom foot, slides to the right side of the mat. So it crosses the mat, left knee comes down. Now I have the bottom leg and the top leg. The top leg, my right leg is going to swing around back behind me, out of sight. And I face the front of the mat again. My front knee is bent at more or less a right angle, even though it's the left knee. You arch the chest up. There's going to be lots of weight on this left hand. That's the idea. Don't worry about picking your left butt cheek up. It's actually going to inhibit the pose development. Are you pushing that left knee down? You fighting for contraction? Are you squinching up the left side of your face? Breathe. You can do it. Get a butt cramp. Ooh. Ah. Right, a stretch. Second side of this back leg. Swings around to the front. Left over right. Right foot flat. Now my foot is all the way up against my tush, but don't worry about how close this foot gets. I am much more interested in how up you can archify the chest. Left knee's pressing away. 3 breaths, make them count. Okay. Now we're going to come from this position to lying face down with your head oriented to the screen, so probably away from the wall. We're going to come to reading pose. Now how we get there is a matter of style. And I'm always a fan of finding fun ways to do that. So if you uncross your left leg, and as you uncross, you're going to swing your legs around behind you. But I need to face this way on my belly, so what do? I need my butt to scooch to one side as we roll onto our belly. And we wind up centered on our mat in a prone position, reading pose, elbows under shoulders. Chest up. Okay. We've had our hips flexed for about half the class now. And so giving the front of your hips a chance to sort of open up here, you're going to start to feel this in the lower back. Hopefully you feel it now. The hips and lower back relax. Down to the floor. If you're alone, you have my permission to do horsey lips. As you guys know, horsey lips is strictly forbidden in group classes. You are not allowed to do horsey lips in group classes. But if you're by yourself, let's do them together. We take a deep inhale. Now it's not this. That's like a tuba trombone kind of a thing. It's definitely not this. It's like French horn. Trumpet. We want flappity flappity. Big ol' inhale. Flappity flappity. It should mess with your vision. Your lips are flapping so much. Go for lawnmower. Make your nose itch. The harder you blow with relaxed lips, the flappier it'll get. As you start to turn out your lips, it'll go back to trumpet. Notice if you start laughing, you can't do it at all. So you're trying to relax the face. It turns out that horsey lips is a really great relaxed face trainer. So let's do 2 more. See if you can last as long as I am. Inhale. It's about 20 seconds. 1 more. About 30 seconds. How do your lips feel? Anybody make it? Anybody last as long as me? Andrew, it seems like you might have practiced that. If it's dumb, I've definitely practiced it. Hands flat, glue your hands to the floor. You straighten. Don't do that in class. Looks like our connection's bordering yellow. If we lose you, we love you guys. Please don't stress out about staying connected to this class. You're already on your mat. You're already practicing a little bit. If you get interrupted, we just pass the baton to you. I love getting to lead your time. These few times a week we get to share these moments. I love it. I love that there's a thing I can do that helps you turn your brain off. It helps you focus, that helps you get into this altered state of connecting to the sensations of your body. And I want you practicing outside of these classes too. So if the class cuts out, don't get all stressed out. As a matter of fact, don't skip a beat. Stay right here and breathe. And see if you can notice what your body needs. What's next? We set the head down, stack the hands. Make a little pillow. Bend the knees. You TikTok the feet, of course. Push your feet in their respective directions. With the feet pushing apart, can you relax your hips, your gluteals? The pelvis relaxes into the floor. Let's come back into reading with the knees bent and the feet pushing apart. go. Outstanding. Now we're going to roll into our back. Same orientation, head stays on the same side of the mat, just right on your back. Yay. If you feel like you're done, you're just really enjoying the floor here, stay here. Don't worry about doing another darn thing. This is your class. You're complete. For those of you interested in doing just a little more, here we go. Feet flat. I get a block. We deposit it under the belt line. Pick the hips up just enough to deposit a block right on the belt line of the pants. Your workout pants probably don't have belt loops, so just guesstimate. Number one, let's catch this right hamstring, pull the right knee in, left leg relaxes down. So normally we would catch the knee, now we catch the hamstring because we're going to go pretty much straight into our knee extensions. Let's dorsiflex that right foot. So I pull my toesies back to the shin, we straighten, and we bend. My femur is close enough that I can't quite straighten the leg. That's the idea. So notice my elbows are bent. That's what we want. Smooth, expansive breaths. Even as you focus, don't get stuck here. This isn't about hanging out here, although there's nothing really wrong with that. This is actually about meniscus and about training the tibia to articulate over that femur. The kneecap loves this movement. Your meniscus loves this movement. And if you watch your quads, you have low enough body fat, you might actually be able to see the individual fibers of quadriceps contract as you eccentrically contract them as they're lengthening. It's pretty cool. Let's do 10 more. Strongly pull that foot back, trying to get a stretch behind the knee and a crazy, crazy burn in quadriceps. Last one. We bend both knees. Oh man. Take both legs up. Shake those guys out. See how they're feeling. You can splishy splash with your shake. I like the splishy splash, but in general my preference is the opposing washing machines. This is a rotation along the vertical axis. My knees point together and then apart. And then if you can coordinate it, you can speed it up and have all the flubber of your legs go flappity, floppity. Catch this left hamstring. Right leg relaxes down. Don't rush into this. Let's give this 3 or 4 deep breaths. Let the position settle in. Dorsiflex the foot. Here we go. Strongly pulling toesies back will get your hamstrings talking back. When you start, it's all hamstrings, but then it will be quadriceps. You'll burn and you'll suffer as you continue to repeat. Knee extensions are really good for your menisci and your patellar tracking. Repeat this stuff 40 times a day and your knees will feel real good. It's the equivalent of an apple for a dentist. For your teeth, this is good for your knees. We don't have dentists for our knees. I guess they're called orthopedies. $20 more. Last one. Bend both knees. Your hips should feel more or less ruined or transformed. Shake them out any way that works for you. Splishy splash or opposing washing machines. Spread the toes. Arch your chest. We're going to do the world's easiest sit-up into our back bend over the block. So my legs are straight. Throw the legs down. We're sitting. Now there's a block right behind you. Look at that. You can probably just lie right back over it. If it's too intense in this low position, just sit back up. Scooch it away from the tailbone. A fist, a thumbs up, or a hangten's distance. It's a good first way to sort of measure it, and then lie back. If your head still does not come down, this is where your towel or your second block come in heady. Just slide it under there. I got the head down on something. It's okay if it's elevated, but everyone has their butt on the floor. If your butt is not entertained, I still want it floorboard. Floorboard. Make sure you're breathing these extraordinarily deep inhales. When you're ready, let's slide the feet flat. When you do that, chances are the tush lifts lightly off the floor. That's okay. Still try to keep it down. Floorboard that thing. We wiggle the feet as wide as the mat. We tick-tock. The nice thing about the tick-tock is that it gets more parts of the back, but it also slowly migrates the block up the spine. So we're actually getting not just different parts left or right, we're actually slowly migrating the block higher vertebrae by vertebrae. And that's what we want. We want variation here. You don't want to put the block in the exact same spot every time. Oh boy. With the feet as wide as the mat, we drop the knees over to the left. Huge inhale. Open this right side of the waist. I'm not pulling my right knee to the floor. The legs are just relaxed. Absolutely nothing in the knee. Knees drop over to the right. Feet as wide as the mat, arch up. Breathe into this left side. Back to center. Let's pick the feet up 1 inch. So the butt's on the floor, knees are bent, feet are up 1 inch. Remember, the head stays down on something. More deep breath. Last breath. Feet flat, we roll off to one side. Get rid of the block now. Resist the temptation to fix your back. Rather, just roll into your back. Straighten your legs. I always love these opportunities to give into the floor. For your body to work, it's really quite rigorous and very good at, just amazingly good at resisting gravity. And we don't want to give that up. We need that. That's called moving your body. You don't want to be stuck on the ground. But we need to practice these moments. Otherwise, we'll only be good at stressing ourselves out. And I suspect none of you need more of that practice. Let's roll the head. Feel your neck. I can't believe some of you stuck it through 15 minutes of waiting. And take our time and roll onto our side. Let's have a seat on a block. Pull the feet in as close as you can to the block. We elevate the hips so that the knees can be lower, so that my immobility in the hips is less of an impediment for me to get that head up. See how tall that head can be. Strive to push it away from the block. If you found a little groove to be in here, let yourself slip into it. Those of you whose minds are still sort of running the show, see if you can keep coming back to the sensation of the position. Easiest place to start is with your breathing. You feel the coolness of these inhales. Feel the ribs expand. There's sensations in your lungs with these inhales. Tick-tock the head. If you're comfortable here, please stay here. Don't twitch a muscle. Your body will tell you when you're done. For the rest of you, thank you for hanging in with Amateur Hour. As technical difficulties rule the morning. If you can stay calm in the face of times like this, we'll have stories to tell in the same way that people in the Great Depression did. But of course we have it way better with air conditioning and paved roads. So keep breathing deep. Don't give up. If you feel hopeless, feel it, and then stay in action. If we keep producing, if we keep making things together, we can always raise the tide for each other. So thank you for your work. Thank you for all that you do to keep Houston afloat. To you, self-high fives and high fives. To each and every one of you. Some of you I'll see you at 11. Have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day.